Our headphones now are sold in every single Apple store. We're about to release our platform shortly. Kendall Jenner is part of the company, as well as Naomi Campbell. I tried to find folks that could play a role in WE.i.am Plus the way that I played a role in Beats. A lot of people didn't know that I was an equity holder in Beats, one of the early members since the beginning. And when we sold to HTC first, I started WE.i.am Plus, and then when we sold it to Apple, the team got bigger, we raised more money, and brought more people on, like Naomi and Kendall, and looking pretty bright for us.
What about you? You spoke about AI there. Where are we going with all this technology? I think another panel you'll be talking about here, WEF, also is security of our internet. How can we police it? We're seeing so much going on now, hacking. There was, of course, it was the Apple versus the FBI. What can we do about that?
Well, we make it seem like this version of connectivity has been forever. So it's still in its infancy, and things will get smarter. And until then, the creators are to innovate and bring to market awesome things for us to save time. That's what I'm focused on. I try not to get distracted or discouraged on the things that we want to bring to market.
And what about cybersecurity? What are your thoughts on that? Because it's so important. Of course, we're making great advances in technology, but the security is key, as we're seeing as well.
Well, there's a lot of misdiscussions on, some people think that cybersecurity is an oxymoron and you can't truly have that, especially on the version of the internet that we have today. And then some people feel that met a company yesterday that have some pretty cool solutions towards that, and things that my company is looking at. Anyone with solutions is great, but like I said, it's still in its infancy. This has not been life forever. I think this version of connectivity with phones out there in the world is 10 years old as far as the iPhone goes. And of course, there's been other PDAs in the past, but nothing like what we have today, where people are running their businesses off of their phones, documenting with selfie sticks. Only because of that, it's selfie stick. New behaviors. Sorry.
But where is it going to take us? Where is the future of tech? I mean, you're involved in it. You have companies within it. Where do you think it's going to take us? Is it going to, what's next? What's the big next tech?
Well, right. I heard a sentence 2 days ago. And I always knew it, and that was, data is currency. And if you're a big company that just sucks up and aggregates everyone's data on an app that's free, then yes, data is currency. But the only people that are left out of being empowered by data are the people that are actually making it. Like, we make data every day. It ain't like it's benefiting me or other people like me or people like you and communities that you live in. But that is only benefiting companies. And so I think the big change is going to come when people own and keep their own data, and other data doppelgangers that are like them create new types of clusters, and those clusters and communities are better off keeping and doing with their data that benefits the community and the individual. We haven't seen that yet. We just see big companies get mega huge, really fast, and worth ultra billions of dollars for the sake of a free app. I think that will change soon. And that's what's exciting for me. And it's the things that we're working on as far as like giving people a personal AI. Right now, the intelligence on your phone doesn't really know you. Right? So those are the things that we want to work on, that we're working on, and can't wait to show the world it.
And what would you like that to be? What's the personal AI? What is your goal? Or what would you ideally want? How would that work?
Well, without getting into it now, I would have to just show you how it works. I don't want to talk about how it works. So when we're about to launch, you know, you're my favorite person.
Thank you.
Definitely be showing you it. But I don't want to, yeah.
Okay, so we look forward to that, and I personally look forward to that launch too as well. Now, of course, last year here the theme was the fourth industrial revolution, talking about technology, and this year it's about responsive and responsible leadership. What makes a responsible leader for you in your eyes?
A responsible leader is someone who's open-minded, respectful, flexible but firm, inspiring, encouraging, strict but still has love, someone who has tolerance, but at the same time protects tradition. Someone who's family oriented, someone who has the ability to turn strangers into friends and friends into family. Someone who that tries to protect the home and builds bridges. Someone who is looking out for the collective and not themselves. That's responsible.
That's responsible leader, and building bridges will now, I hope, I'll still remain your favourite person, but talking of bridges and walls, I have to ask what your feelings are. You did publicly vote for Hillary, so I just want to ask you in general what your feelings are.
Me no speak English.
Spanish then, tell me, we can translate it. Just your general feeling.
So I have, like I said, I have 500 plus kids who, a lot of their parents, I come from an all Mexican neighborhood. We're the only black family, one of the only black families in the neighborhood. So a lot of the kids at my school are afraid that their parents will be sent back to Mexico. And they've done so much to keep themselves out of the streets. And so for those privileged folks, they don't know what that means. Because they'll respond and say, well, they're not supposed to be in the streets. But what they be doing? It's not like we're making sure they have proper education and a good shot at the future. So for them to not do that default that puts them in harm's way and other people in harm's way to survive, and take a leap of faith and learn robotics and computer science, and do the uncool thing and risk being bullied because no one in their age group are doing robotics and computer science, and then also have to worry and fear their parents getting sent back to Mexico. That's a lot for a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old to worry about, especially while they're in their neighborhood ducking bullets. So if there's any time where it's more important for me to focus on my community, it's now. If there's any time that I come to Davos with urgency to create alliances and build bridges to protect those for the next 4 years, 8 years, 20 years, it's now. If there's any sign how we should bond together and use our smartphones to get the right news, just be a little bit more patient and not just think what the first thing you see is the truth. It's right now. If there's any time where we're supposed to, have an open heart, it's right now. Especially right now. We're supposed to bond. We're supposed to, I know that sounds real kumbaya and cliche to say love is what we need right now, but it truly is. If this time is like any time, it would feel like the 50s, because the 60s hasn't happened yet. The songs on the radio aren't about what's going on. The things, we're all in these little bubbles. The bubbles that we're in is responsible for the fake news. We need to pop those bubbles that we created ourselves and create little clusters and networks of like-minded things that we want to see our society move towards. Because if we just leave it to the bubble and the algorithm, it's going to look like what we have right now. And that, we should all be concerned with that. So with that, I say we focus on the left behinds, the privilege, using their privilege to, bring upon a better life for those that are struggling. There's a lot of struggling out there. In the ghettos, in the provinces, the slums, even in the nice neighborhoods. It ain't like people are there, living comfy, when now we have supercomputers that's threatening everything. We need creators to create and dream up new jobs. Unfortunately, the old jobs, some of them might not come back. But I know we switched from the Fourth Industrial Revolution to responsible leadership, but those two are hand in hand. Right? Because it takes the leaders to encourage the dreamers to create new jobs that's really going to bring about an amazing Fourth Industrial Revolution, because it could be a bad one. So,
would you ever consider going into politics yourself, Will?
No. No. I don't want to go into politics. I'd rather just do what I'm doing.
And what you're doing, and just finally, of course, you have a collaboration, an exciting project with Black Eyed Peas, I believe, coming up this year. You have The Voice in the UK. You have all your tech innovators coming up as well, and your foundation. Anything else you'd like to do to add to that list? Do you have time for anything?
Oh no, so when I said it's been 18 days and I've already been in that many countries, somebody was like, well, what were you doing in all those countries? Well, I really have like 4 jobs, four full-time jobs. And that, every day I wake up, it's a blessed opportunity. Because I remember the day I was 19 years old, and my mom says, Willie, I think I'm gonna finally get a job now. I'm like, what? Why? Because the whole time growing up, my mom's on welfare. I would go to the county building and get our check and sit in the line and get free cheese and milk. And that was normal. So when my mom said that, I was like, where are you gonna work at, Mom? She's like, I'm gonna work up at the park to keep the kids off the street. And so when I wake up every day and I see my reality, I think of the sacrifices my mom made by, it seemed as if she was putting me in harm's way, but really it was a blessing. And now I have these blessings, so I'm blessed to be able to have a philanthropic charity where we teach kids robotics and have a company with 150 people. We have offices in Israel, Bangalore, India, and Singapore, and all the engineers that have chosen to work at IAM Plus. Even though there's been a couple of misses, which is okay because I'm not afraid to fail in public. I just look at it as I'm learning. and we still retain awesome talent. We have awesome investors. And music changed my life. It's another job. And being on TV is another job too. So that's 4 full-time jobs. Because TV, being in the UK, I mean, that's the biggest show, one of the biggest shows, actually the biggest show in the UK. I'm sorry. It's a pretty nice, humble show. My mom would like, I just got slapped with my mom was bragging like that. The show's pretty nice. It does pretty well. So, in theory, I should live in the UK. I do TV there. But every time I finish TV, I go back home to WEF Plus and figure out between my entrepreneurial activities and making music. And I've chosen to, do music less, to build this business with my partners. And it's great. My mom, she sent me an awesome little text message yesterday, just to remind me how blessed we are.
Well, Will, thank you so much for sharing that today, and we so appreciate, because we know how busy you are, and we can see from all the jobs that you do that you are so busy, and we really appreciate the time you've spent with us today.